would say the scariest part for me before investing was to stay where I am. Because money wasn't a scary part. I'll figure it out because I know I will. Different country, different people, no family, friends around, nothing. The only thing which was scariest part was me being at the same state where I am, like being broke, being unhappy. That was the scariest part.
Why do you think watching free stuff doesn't work this day and age?
Unless and until you don't invest, you don't get serious.
We call it mental masturbation. Listen to a lot of podcasts, you read a lot of books, and you think that you're being productive.
No matter if you have money or not, no matter if you're mentally or physically good or not, if you feel like you want to change it, just take action. If you want to do something different, or like if you want to be the queen or the king or whatever, like work for it, man. Like unless and until you don't be a slave for your own thing, like do not expect to live like a queen.
What was the reason you actually invested in HSS? Why did you come to us and not anybody else? Because there's loads of different sales courses out there.
No, that's very true. I'll tell you why. Because
all right, gals, today's episode is going to be a sick one. I'm joined by my student, Bhavana, and her story is one that I know so many of you out there will relate to. She started out working a 9-5 at a debt collection company, you know, one of those jobs where your soul leaves your body every time you clock in. And after just 17 days, she realised, yeah, done with this life ain't for me. From there, she's tried everything. Selling digital products, dabbling in online sales, and nothing quite clicked for her at first, but instead of giving up, she doubled down, she learnt the skills, and she kept going. Just a few months later, she found her sales society, quit a 9-5 within weeks, and managed to land a role at one of Dubai's biggest fitness companies, a brand that actually specifically targets the South Asian community. Where she started off as a dialer, has now stepped into a collaboration manager role and is currently training as a closer. This episode is going to be such a solid reminder that success do not come from a perfect start. It comes from backing yourself, staying consistent when most people would quit. So let's get into it. So welcome to the podcast, Bhavana. Thank you very much for being here. Nice to meet you in person. I feel like we just need to start from the beginning because I feel like even I'm confused as to where you started off. Obviously, you've been in the academy for 4 or 5 months now.
Yeah.
So originally from India, moved to Edinburgh.
moved to Glasgow.
Glasgow. Oh.
Yeah.
I was going to say same thing, not the same thing. Moved to Scotland for university. Is that right?
That's right.
And now we're here in Dubai. You've been back to India during that time. I feel like your life has changed a lot in the past 4 months. So can we just start from the beginning? Like, what was life like growing up in India? Did you always want to be a high-ticket closer?
Okay, so sales was not my forte in the beginning. But when I started discovering that I'm good at sales, that was in my master's when I chose marketing because I thought I'll be good at it because I'm an extrovert as a person, right? So yeah, I completed my master's in Glasgow. Then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a job in sales. I'm gonna be happy, yeah. And then life took a turn negatively, and apparently I did not find a job in sales. Well, I just had to choose whatever I had in my plate. So I went to a debt collection company to work, right? And then literally I remember it's been 17 days wherein I was like, no, I'm not doing 9 to 5 ever in my life. That's when I start digging like something I want to do different than people who are actually doing 9 to 5. That's when I started selling digital products. That's MRR products.
Yeah, I remember,
right,
yeah.
master resale rights. So literally that went flop. Like it didn't work for me.
Why did it not work?
I believe I didn't have the skill, the right support. But the best part is I just took an action. That failure led to me towards high ticket sales. Then, well, there's the twist part here. I found high ticket sales.
Yeah.
But it did not work for me as well for like about 6 months or so. I'm just learning and learning and learning. At the same time, I'm burned out at my 9 to 5. Literally, it's like I'm waking up at 5, sleeping back at 12 a.m. So literally, I'm getting like 4 to 5 hours of sleep and learning. But still, at the end of the day, nothing worked. But the only thing which worked was me taking action. That's when I found HSS.
Yeah.
And that's when everything started working for me.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So just to recap, you done your master's in marketing, you were in Glasgow in the UK. I know you quite like the UK, right?
I love
You love the UK.
I miss UK right now.
Yeah, you don't have to say that just because we're on camera. But yeah, so you quite like the UK, because I remember when we first initially spoke, we were messaging in DMs and stuff, and I was like, oh, I don't know whether I can take this girl serious. That's what I genuinely thought, no disrespect. And I thought, I don't know whether I can take this girl. And my setter was messaging me like, are we taking this girl seriously or not? Like, so I was like, do you know what? Let's chat. Let's see. Obviously we had our call. So you were doing the MRR, which is the digital products. I think a lot of people have tried that. And it's a lot of, it's basically a pyramid scheme, right? Yeah. It's a pyramid scheme. And I think that's what a lot of people get confused. A lot of people think high ticket remote sales is a pyramid scheme as well, which I can assure you it's not. So you were learning high ticket sales on the side of doing your 9-5. And when you say you were learning, what were you doing? You were doing a lot of like watching YouTube. I'm sure you signed up to like my competitors' masterclasses, things like that. So you were doing a lot of like free training.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's interesting what you just said. There's two things that are really interesting what you just said. Firstly, when I just asked you what went wrong with the MRR, and you blame yourself there. You said, it was me, I didn't have the skill set, because there's a lot of people who would be like, oh, it was this, it was that, it's a shit model, it's, the fact that you just said, I didn't have the skill set, shows that's what you need in sales, right? You got to take ownership. And the second thing was, you've been doing a lot of free things, and only something happened, as in like you started to move forward when you actually invested money.
True.
What would you say is like, because as I say, you were doing a lot of free things, a lot of masterclasses, watching a lot of YouTube videos. Why do you think watching free stuff doesn't work this day and age?
I would say, for example, you have n number of things in YouTube. You have a lot of things literally everywhere in the social media. So now if you ask me why everybody is not billionaire, right? I mean, that doesn't make sense. Unless and until you don't invest, you don't get serious. Yeah. First point. Second point is that unless and until you don't invest, you won't be having a right direction. Because it's like either you choose sheeps, when everybody's choosing YouTube, everything is there, you just go, or you choose to be a lion, right? So the difference is unless and until you don't invest. I feel like there's no actual growth. You think you're growing, but there's no actual growth.
Yeah.
So
we call it in English, in British language, mental masturbation. It's when you listen to a lot of podcasts, you read a lot of books, and you think that you're being productive. You think, but at the end of the day, how much more research, how many more books are you going to read until you actually take action? Like, for me, and I used to do this as well because I've read hundreds, I don't read books anymore, but I've read hundreds of books, and my life didn't change until I made that first investment in myself. Like, and as you say, there's so much fluff and there's so much stuff online. And it's the same with fitness, and we'll talk about you being in the fitness industry in a minute. There's a reason why people hire coaches. There's a reason why athletes themselves, even though they're so well trained, they have their own coaches and they have their own mentors. Do you want to take the elevator to success, or do you want to take the stairs? And for me, having a mentor and just having someone who's been there, done it, you're collapsing the timeline. Because if you hadn't have done that, how long ago? So maybe over a year ago.
Yeah. We would be unemployed by now.
Well, we wouldn't even be having this conversation, really, would they? So what made you realise that you wanted a career in sales? What made you think, oh, I'm good at sales?
Okay, so I don't know, but I think most of people will agree with me that being an Indian, you literally are selling yourself every day to your parents. Right? It's like, hey mom, I'm gonna go this because trust me, I'm gonna be safe, la 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 la, whatever that is. So that's when I realized, I was like, bro, I'm literally good at this, so why don't try a career? That's when I chose sales as my the lesson in masters as well, while I was doing it as my majors. And then that's why I was excited that I'm going to get a job in sales and I'm going to be all happy and settled, whatever. Then life was like, no, girl, no. And that's how I found that I'm good at sales, because I know how to gaslight people.
You know how to be a narcissist.
I think, see, now I'm going to point out one thing. I knew I was good at sales, but still I had to invest, because even being good at sales, I failed in digital products while selling them.
Yeah.
But when I started investing, when I started learning the actual stuff, that's when I landed an offer.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to point
Yeah.
out.
So what you're saying is you knew you were good, but you're not stupid enough to know that you're too good where you don't need to invest.
True.
Like there's always stuff to learn, and this is a massive thing that I am finding at the moment since since you, I don't even know, I think Seta 2.0, like I've only had this business at HSS for a year. I've refilmed the course twice over because things are constantly upgrading and ever changing, and like sales has changed. So it's really interesting that you said that, even though you were good and you had, you know, the digital product marketing knowledge and sales knowledge from potentially doing that and your master's degree, you're not naive enough to think that no, there could be a better way.
True.
What was the reason you actually invested in HSS? Why did you come to us and not anybody else? Because there's loads of different sales courses out there.
No, that's very true. I'll tell you why. Because before choosing HSS, I actually tried your competitors, like who were selling, you know, the courses.
We won't mention those names, but yeah, my competitors,
your competitors. So, but the best part about HSS is that you give importance to everyone. That's what I did not find with others.
Yeah.
I was about to pay for the course, but nobody replied for me. Then I paused and I was like, wait, if they're not replying now,
when they're about to take your money, when they're literally about to take your money and they didn't reply.
Yeah, so why will they even be with me in my journey, right? But that's exact support which I was craving for, I found in HSS. I was like, it was literally you. I was talking to you and we got on a call. I was like, because I was on a survival mode and the amount was, even the small amount was kind of big for me, right?
Yeah, of course.
I was like, when I spoke to you, the only thing which made me invest is the trust. Yeah. Because I'm speaking to you directly, which I found that in HSS and not other, I mean, everybody is good. Like, I'm not telling that, but the support, the trust, you know, because when everybody is trying to switch their job, their career, or their life, the only thing we need is that emotion support. People
especially
will
as a woman. Especially as a woman.
Trust me. So I found that in HSS and I was like, you know what? I'm going here.
Yeah. Okay. Love that. So yeah, I mean, obviously that is one thing I do like pride myself on is I don't want a lot of, I mean, we've got one coach, Joe. I don't think you've met him yet just because you're not doing your closing. He's the only boy who's allowed in HSS. But yeah, it is predominantly me. I am maybe that's I don't know, a negative thing that I am so hands-on in there. But yeah, I do make sure everybody gets the attention that they need. And if anybody needs help, it is always me on the other end of, you know, the DMs and stuff. But let's talk about, so your journey in HSS. You came in, you did the SETA assessment, and within the space of what? A week, two?
A week, two.
2 weeks, we landed you the perfect role, right? It was literally...
Thanks to you.
Yeah, well, do you know, that's another thing as well. Like, I don't know if you're religious or you believe in the universe or whatever, but, you know, like, Bhavana's obviously been on the fence about investing. When you back yourself, it's like the universe does this thing where it, like, conspires to help you and, like, it will try and help you, basically. But if you trust yourself, and I've gone through this so many times where I've been so scared to make a decision. I've been on it for months and then I make the decision and all of a sudden everything aligns and it's like all of these opportunities come just because I back myself. True. So I feel like that's usually what happens, to be honest. You've backed yourself, you've took the risk, took the action within the space of a week. I don't even know if you'd finished the SETA assessment. Obviously Nathan reached out to me. Bhavana at the time was my only South Asian student. Nathan messaged me, have you got any South Asian setters? I was like, perfect. Obviously sent the role straight to you. And now, you're absolutely smashing it. I know that Nathan obviously lives out here. Shout out to Nathan. One of the biggest South Asian fitness companies in the UK, in Dubai. Tell me a little bit more about your journey there. So I remember you messaging, because I had a call with Nathan. He was asking for some help with his other setters. And we were on the call, he just hired you the day before, and he messaged me. We were on the call, and he went, "Oh, Vavana's just booked the call." It was like your first shift, not even like an hour, and he was like, "Vavana's just booked the call." And I was like, "Fucking hell, this girl's on it." So tell me a little bit more about, like, so you got hired, you come in, you've made an impression straight away. He's obviously offered he's give you a promotion, you're training to be a closer. Tell me a bit more about like how that's all going.
Yeah, so first thing, thank you so much for the offer, and shout out to Nathan for sure. So I got hired as a dialer, and when I was supposed to dial and book an appointment through calling. That's an amazing team, to be honest. Autonomy is a great team, and when I started dialing, of course, I think the first day I booked like 2 calls.
Yeah,
I was
so
like,
sick.
okay, I'm already there. And also I want to mention that was because of the training and the courses I did. It's not just I was good at it and I got it. No, and that's how my journey started. And when I was discussing with Nathan about the calls and everything, we were talking about influencers. We wanted to collab with a lot of people and stuff. So that's when he trusted me that why don't you start like taking in charge of that and collaborate with people and like tell them what we're doing and stuff. So now I became a collaboration manager as well while being a dialer, and I told Nathan that what, I want to be a closer, and I'm all set to learn unless and until I'm good at it. So I'm getting trained for that as well every day, 1 hour morning before starting the work. The team is really good. They help me, like even if I do little mistakes or if I need to improve somewhere, so they push me over there. And as a whole, it's so good. Actually, I attended event just I think that was on Saturday. It was at the locker gym, so it's so good.
Yeah, tell me more. So Nathan hosted.
Yes, Nathan hosted that
event with clients.
With clients and new clients and everyone. So I was at the headquarters of Autonomy, and it was like working with all the team offline and like being with them, knowing them like in person was an amazing experience. And it was fulfilling.
I was going to ask you, how does it feel meeting? So the thing is, and I like to do this with my closers and my setters and the students, and make sure the CEO, they're really involved, because how does it feel meeting those clients in person? You've probably dialed on the phone before even before they've even signed up, knowing that you're making a difference. I mean, it's a little bit different than debt collection, right? But how does it feel like seeing them after their transformations, after they've, achieved amazing results? How does it feel like seeing them in person?
That actually made a difference. Like, it felt so good because I and one of my colleagues, she's a closer, we both were onboarding them, as in we were booking new calls for them. So when I met them, they were like, "Hey, I spoke to you. That's Bhavna," and that felt good. Felt good. That built a trust and autonomy as well. And all in all, it was a great experience. I loved it.
Yeah, because that's the thing, isn't it? Like, I think people don't realise you're just a setter or you're just a dialer, which is the first point of call. But for me, like I always say, setters are the most important part of the business. You are the first point of contact. You're the first port of trust. And at the end of the day, A, the business wouldn't run without you, but B, those clients whose lives have been changed through these fitness transformations would not be on that program if it wasn't for you being good at sales. Do you know what I mean?
True.
So it's an as I say, in terms of like the industry. I mean, in terms of how you feel going to work every day, you work 9-5?
Yeah, no, I do 12 to 8 Dubai time, and trust me, I'll tell you the difference. When I was doing 9 to 5 in Glasgow, I was like, oh, I don't want to go to work. Now I'm just all set, Vicky, to be honest. I'm not even lying. It's like, I'm just eager to work. I feel like, yes, like I want to book a lot of calls today. Like I want to do this. Like I love my work, literally, because I was telling Nathan the other day as well, like this feels good because you are good. Like as a human, if you're good, like it's the same with HSS. Why I chose HSS? Because you were good towards me, right?
Yeah.
So every day I love like waking up and showing up to work. It's like, love it. Love the job. Trust me.
That's crazy, because like I literally posted on my story the other day, imagine going, because I've got a few messages of girls who are on trials on certain roles, and they were like, I actually enjoy this. It doesn't feel like work. And yeah, I was like, imagine waking up and actually enjoying your job. There isn't a day where when I've got sales calls and stuff, there isn't a day where I've woke up and I've been like, oh, I can't be arsed today. Like, it's like, you're excited for the day. Yes, we want to make money, but more importantly, we want to help people. And I think that's a thing that a lot of people in sales, or they think of sales and they just think, oh, sleazy or whatever. But as I say, they don't realise that we're genuinely changing people's lives. I mean, what do you think, like, because it's easy for us to sit here and say that it sounds like, oh, it's been quite a smooth journey for you in the industry. You've landed on your feet with a good offer. Obviously, he looks after you. Yeah. He's got a very good, great company to work for. Probably one that you're going to stay with for a long time with the progression. He's given you the progression. Yeah. But what would you say is like one of the biggest challenges that you've had to overcome or over the past 12 months to get to where you are now?
Wow, good question. I was just thinking that yesterday because last year by this time I was at that debt collection company. I was working. I was doing 9 to 5. At the same time, I was taking action on doing something different than other people, like when I was failing in digital products. That was the phase I was in. And the only thing I would like to say that if you want to change your life, no matter if you have money or not, no matter if you're mentally or physically good or not, if you feel like you want to change it, just take action. So the only thing or the only difference, if you feel like, there are a lot of people in the world who are don't have education, who are shit at everything, but still they are successful. Why? Because they take action. Like, that's the only thing. You don't wait for you to have money, because I know, like, when I call people, I think even you know this, they're like, do you want to buy this course? Do you want to get into fitness? I don't think so. I probably will do when I have money. Bro, like, if you have money, why will you go? Why will you buy the course? Yeah. Why do you want to get into sales if you have money? You want to grow in your life, you want to make money, you want to help others, you want to change your life. For that you have to take action. You don't have to wait, to make money and then pay for the course. And then
the way I describe that, Bav, like, so interesting you just said that. I literally had this conversation with a girl yesterday and my DMs are, I can't afford to invest. Like, the fact that you cannot afford to invest, and maybe it's a little bit different with fitness, but the fact that you cannot afford to invest is, if we look at cause and effect, the effects of the real problem is the fact that you don't have the skills to be able to go and make the money. So until you invest in the skills to make the money, well, you're never going to have the money to invest. So, people think that the money comes before investing. And I say this all the time. Do you think I had money when I decided to change my... I didn't have any money. We were in lockdown. I was on benefit in the UK. I was on benefit because I couldn't afford my mortgage because obviously we were in lockdown. I was a PT, lost all my clients. I didn't have money when I started, as you say. There's two types of people, right? The person A who says, I don't have money, so that's it. I'm fucked. I'm just going to stay stuck. Or type B who says, I don't have any money, but I'm not going to let that stop me from getting to where I want to go. So how can I find the money? How can I get resourceful? And I genuinely believe if you want something enough, you will find a way. I've had so many people with no money. Even yourself, that's a good example. Yeah. Let's be honest, you didn't have the money. Yes. You were a student. Yes. Finishing how old are you, by the way?
I'm 24.
Wow, so young. Guys, seriously, right, you're looking at a fucking 24-year-old, didn't have any money, student, not a British national.
True.
And we've gone from, Glasgow, India, Glasgow, and now we're sitting in Dubai. Yeah. Like, inspirational. I would say, like, I know I was just about to ask you, to be fair, what's one piece of advice? Somebody not even in your position, because your position is very, very rare. Like, I say this all the time to people. There's people out there with less than you who are doing better than you. What do you think's the difference between what do you think's the difference between them and you?
I feel like it's just one thing, which is like the difference is that take action. Because doesn't matter what's your age, doesn't matter what's your gender, doesn't matter what's your situation in life, if you have money, if you don't have money, nothing matters unless and until you have the drive to do something in life. Just take actions. Because I had an option to select, to be honest, My family has a lot of money, right? But I have the option wherein I can just sit and enjoy the luxury. But why did I choose? Because I have the drive to do something. So let's say for somebody who doesn't want to do anything in the life, they will not do it unless and until they take action. So the only difference is take action.
Yeah.
Just take action. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah, for sure. I think, obviously, like, if we actually break that down, take action into, like, right, if somebody's sitting here right now and thinking, I am stuck in a 9-5 that I don't want to be in, what do you think is one small action? Because I know you're into your fitness as well, which I think is a big trait of my most successful setters and closers. They're all on their own self-development journey, personal development, even if they're with their fitness journeys as well. Like, not even necessarily invest in the course, but what would you say is like one small action that somebody can take towards getting to where they want to be?
Okay, for this, I would like to give an example of my own life. Last year by this time, for about 8 months, Vicky, I'm not even lying. So I used to wake up at 5, catch a bus at 6, and go to work by 6:30, and start my work at 8, and finish my work by 5, reach home by 6:30, and between 6:30 to 7:30 or 8, freshen up, eat food and everything, like talk to your family or whatever. From 9 p.m. until 12 or 1 a.m., I used to work on my skills. Any skills, for example, sales, or you want to do something in life, whatever it is. Like, give some time.
Yeah.
And I used to sleep at 1 or 2 a.m. and wake up at 5. So I did that for 8 months. Why? Like, unless and until you do not trade your mental health, your physical health, nothing's going to work for you. Like, universe going to test you. Like, do you even deserve, like, having this much luxury or having so much in your life? If you do not, just walk away. Like, that's not for you. So it will never be easy. If you want to be easy, like, be a slave. I mean, right?
Yeah.
If you want to, like, work for someone, then choose an easy path. Like, if you want to do something different or whatever, like, if you want to be the queen or the king or whatever, like, work for it, man. Like, unless and until you don't be a slave for your own thing, like, do not expect to live like a queen or a king.
Yeah.
So,
And also don't complain about it. Like, I say this all the time. Listen,
Exactly.
like, my job is just to show you guys, and I'm very, I would say, like, I'm very honest in my course, in my mentorship, and when I'm on calls with people looking to sign up. Sales is not for everyone. It is not this path that you see, and you see all the luxury. You see us in a podcast studio, you see us in
True.
Dubai. Like, we have worked hard for this. You know, this isn't just like an overnight success.
Yeah.
This has been in the making. You've
True.
gone through shit after shit, waves of roadblocks hit you in the face. And then, yeah, like now, you know, you're on your way to being pretty successful. If you end up being a closer, that's, we're talking six figure salary, right? When you're a closer for Nathan. So, but yeah, going back to what I was saying. So, if you are not willing to do the work, that is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But accept the consequences of being miserable, of, you know, don't come to me. And 9-5, and people will look at me and be like, oh, you slag the 9-5 all the time. I say that just because I was, you know, a lawyer, and I was in a 9-5 and I hated it. This podcast, this course, this mentorship, this community is not for people who are happy in a 9-5. I have no problem with people in a 9-5. I've got a lot of friends who work a 9-5. But if you are not happy, then, you know, you got to weigh up your options, right? My favourite saying is, do you certainly want a life that you are unhappy with? Because if you certainly want a life you're unhappy with, carry on down the path you want.
Yeah.
Or do you take a risk and step into uncertainty to uncertainly have a life that you can be happy with? And for me, option 2 is always, is just always the option to me, you know? So, yeah, I mean, is there anything else before we wrap up that you would add? So the biggest challenges, you've had a lot of challenges. Advice that you'd give to somebody who's in your position. You're very young, and to even know that you want that at such a young age, because when I was your age, there wasn't, and I'm actually quite jealous that you are so young. There wasn't anything like this when I was 24.
Yeah.
I'm saying my age now, but, you know, 6, 7, 8 years ago, there wasn't anything like this. This wasn't even a career path.
Yeah.
So for you to be so young and to know, like, have you always known that you want to be successful?
Well, my dad is a businessman, right?
Yeah.
So when I saw him like working hard at the same time having that freedom wherein you can do whatever you want, that's when I realized like I want to do that. Like that was like I think 4 years back. But I want to say something, right? So when, let's say for example, I'm like 10 years after my age, right? But there'll be a lot of young people younger than me will be doing a lot of different things wherein I feel like I would have done that, but it wasn't there at my time.
Yeah.
So I think it's when you were doing a lot of things, like sales wasn't there at all at that time, so which is fair. So there's one thing which I would like to add is that, see, either do what you want to do in life or just don't do it. Don't just sit and crib about it. I hate that. Like people, there are a lot of people out there, they go like, oh, I'm not liking this, I'm not happy, but not taking any
Yeah.
actions, right? Like if you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Don't just sit and crib about it. So yeah, so at the end of the day, it's about taking action and just doing it.
Yeah, for sure. And like if someone's scared to take action, because there are a lot, like the thing that stops people taking action is, oh, I'm so scared of what people will think.
Sure.
I'm so scared of, did you have any of that before you invested? Like, did you, I mean, you were obviously taking action previously. What was like the scariest thing for you investing?
I would say the scariest part for me before investing was to stay where I am. Because money wasn't a scary part. I'll figure it out because I know I will. Different country, different people, no family, friends around, nothing.
Mad.
The only thing which was scariest part was me being at the same state where I am, like being broke, being unhappy. That was the scariest part. So that's one of the reasons why I think that was a great push for me to like move forward.
Yeah.
Unless and until you don't feel uncomfortable of where you are, you will never be successful because you
Yeah.
won't get out of it. So,
That's so true. Comfort is the biggest killer where dreams go to die.
True.
And that's how you end up getting to 65, isn't it? 65.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it is like in India, but in the UK for sure, obviously retirement age 65,
Yeah.
people just
Oh, in
stay.
India, it's 58.
58,
Trust me, it's 58.
yeah.
So it's even
This
scarier.
is still a lot,
Oh,
yeah, still a long time of being in the same job
Yeah.
and being terrified to take action. But yeah, as Bhavana says, like, until you feel a level of discomfort with where you are, and that doesn't mean you need to be rock bottom, do you know what I mean?
Exactly,
It doesn't
yeah.
mean you need to be working in McDonald's or, you know, it can be literally, because I speak to people every day who are earning a good salary, you know, they're earning, you know, 6 figures a lot of the time, but they're in this corporate job, but they're so scared to leave because they don't want to take a step backwards, which is
Yeah.
like, they don't want to be seen to start again. They don't want to take a cut in money. But at the end of the day, as we've just said, what's worse? Staying where you are
Yeah.
for the next 5, 10, 15 years, or, you know, sometimes you do have to take a step back. I've done that loads of times where I've taken a step back to go 10 steps forward,
True.
for sure. But yeah, if there's nothing else that you'd like to add, I really appreciate you coming on the podcast. Anything else you'd like to add?
Thank you so much, Vicky. I think, yeah, I mean, just take action, guys. Like, if you want to be successful, you will be. Unless and until you decide to do that.
Yeah, nothing's
yeah.
going to change. And like, that's the thing, no one's coming to save you, right?
Yeah, true.
No
Save
one's,
yourself.
yeah. Like, you know, you've put yourself, I think it's interesting because most of the closers or the setters that I speak to who are, you know, successful, they do usually tend to have these certain traits, and a lot of them have moved country. You know, go into a country, I mean, I don't know why you picked Glasgow, but go into a country where you have never lived before, you don't have any friends,
Yeah.
putting yourself purposely, because you could have stayed in India, right?
True.
You could have stayed in India
True.
and gone to university.
That was the luxurious thing I could have ever done. But that's the thing, right? If you want to be extraordinary, like, work like it.
Yeah.
Or else just...
You got to do what
So-
everybody, if you want something that you know, you've never had, you got to do things that normal
Never
people
did.
don't do.
Yeah,
And
true.
you got to do something you've never done.
True.
But yeah, on that note, thank you very much for coming on. I really enjoyed that. It was interesting to hear your story. And yeah, see you guys
Thank you
next
for having
time.
me.